We've come a long way since recreational weed was first legalized in Colorado over 10 years ago. Future owners of cannabis lounges are now trying to pave the way for how Coloradans will consume marijuana in the years to come. And Jessica, as an attorney, you found out that these lounges and their owners have to comply with some rules they find pretty challenging.
Yeah, Nicole, especially when it comes to those HVAC systems. So regulators want to ensure that smoke from cannabis lounges doesn't seep into those neighborhoods or make a bad impact on the employees. But the first wave of cannabis lounge owners trying to navigate these regulations for the first time, they tell me it's not necessarily easy being one of the first.
The first time I stood on the sidewalk out in front of the house, and I pointed up and I said, one day I want to turn you into a marijuana bed and breakfast.
Chris Chiari, owner of Denver's Patterson Inn, had his eye on 420 East 11th Avenue since 2011.
I've owned it since May of 2018.
The structure was built as a home more than 100 years ago. Congressman Thomas M. Patterson lived there in the late 1800s. The building, which is now a boutique hotel, is on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's rumored to be haunted.
The room features a picture of Catherine Patterson on the wall, and I always ask guests when they walk in if she's smiling at them or frowning.
It features themed suites, a bar, and soon, a cannabis lounge.
Everyone who walks in the building knows our address. Our address is 420, and it's a fun way to spark up a conversation.
While the concept could be considered fun, navigating the requirements to get the cannabis lounge off the ground has proved nothing short of a challenge. His primary hurdle, making sure that smoke doesn't seep out into the neighborhoods or overwhelm patrons and employees.
The city of Denver has said that they want to know whether or not there's the presence of secondhand THC in the air and what we can do to make sure we're creating an environment and understanding what we're going into from the start, with that eye towards employee safety and protection.
He received this message from the city of Denver. Employee exposure is definitely a concern in guests who are not smoking. The Colorado Clean Indoor Air Act requires that employees who request it are provided with a smoke and emission-free work environment. Denver will be using the 2018 International Mechanical Code ventilation rates for a smoking lounge as a baseline. Per ASHRAE, no amount of ventilation has been demonstrated to provide a safe environment when secondhand smoke is present. However, using the 2018 IMC as minimum baseline seems reasonable within the consumption lounge. Cannabis hospitality consultant Andrew Muir says when future cannabis lounge owners are only given minimum baseline requirements, it can be difficult for them to know exactly what they need to do.
It's like in Las Vegas, they have given us specific, air changes per hour needed in specific equipment specifications that we need. Colorado has very much just stayed away from giving us any specific guidance, and it's been very, very vague.
Chiari has responded by having an HVAC system specially created to meet international standards and is creating a special area for employees.
We're going further is to create an employee area that's glassed in, so the service area or the work area for an employee where they'll spend most of their shift will be fresh air that is separate from the recirculated air in the cannabis lounge.
As Chiari continues to work through the guidelines, he hopes to open the lounge by the end of the year, primarily for people who stay at the hotel and official members of the lounge.
Many cannabis consumers are looking for something to relax at the end of a busy week, might enjoy consuming cannabis with friends at a backyard party. And in many cases want to consume cannabis in a space where they feel comfortable. My goal is to create that safe space. My lounge is meant to be an amenity to the hotel, not a destination. The hotel is the destination.
We reached out to Denver Community Planning and Development about the claims that their code requirements are vague. They said this in part, helping people understand code requirements so they can deliver safe, healthy spaces is a priority of ours. In addition to recommending that businesses hire experienced licensed contractors, city staff will work with permit applicants as needed to also help navigate ventilation requirements for cannabis hospitality locations. Well, for the first time in the history of legal marijuana, the number of jobs in the cannabis industry decreased in Colorado. A study from Denver-based cannabis hiring platform Vaxxed found 10,000 jobs were cut in the past year. That's about 30% of the people who make up the industry. The cuts come with a drop in demand. Colorado experienced the biggest drop in post-pandemic cannabis sales of any state. Sales were just at $1.8 billion in 2022 versus $2.2 billion in 2021.